I'm Greg Gorbach with ARC, and today I'm speaking with Jesse Alleyne, Manufacturing Industry Director at Microsoft. Welcome, Jesse.
Thanks for having me, Greg.
Jesse, Microsoft is well known, in the household and consumer arena, with a number of products. But you've been a big player in manufacturing for quite a long time as well. So um, I'm glad to see you're here at the conference today. Can you just talk a little bit about what you hope to accomplish?
Yes, thank you for having us. As you've mentioned, Microsoft has been a significant player in manufacturing for a long time. Most people think about us from an IT perspective, whether that's Windows or Office, but we've been on the plant floor for over 30 years.
Mhm.
When you think about HMIs and the backend to HMIs and Windows 95 and Windows CE, and even historians, the backend for those, SQL Server has been a player in that space for a very, very long time. Microsoft itself has transformed with the advent of the cloud, and it's given us the ability to actually offer more valuable and significant services to companies that are trying to digitally transform themselves. So when we think about IoT, AI, and analytics, and edge computing, Microsoft has invested heavily in those spaces. We'd like to continue to be strategic partners with both the providers of solutions in the industry, but also our end customers. So what we're trying to accomplish here at ARC is really to listen first and foremost, see where the industry is going and hear from the leaders at ARC, but also from our customers, and also share where we're going with the company and share those solutions so they know how we can help them to digitally transform.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, follow up on this notion of digital transformation. I mean, it's been here for a little while, but it seems like it continues to be a major driving force and kind of a still exploding, if you will. Um, so what trends is Microsoft seeing when it comes to digital transformation?
Sure, that's a great question. So I'll start from an industry perspective first. Our customers are experiencing margin compression, right? They're looking at inflation, and manufacturers that are exposed to raw material costs are trying to figure out how they maintain their profitability. They're looking at being good partners and great stewards to their customers. So they're absorbing some of those costs, but they're looking for opportunities to create value, but also pass on some of those costs as well. So that leads us to our next trend, which is supply chain visibility and optimization. We've seen a lot of reshoring taking place, and our customers, from a technology perspective, want to understand how they can simulate their supply chain, how they can get better visibility into their supply chain, and kind of multi-thread instead of what we've done over the last 30 years, which is outsource and single thread and focus on optimization instead of resiliency. So we're seeing a significant shift on the supply chain side. And the third thing that we're really seeing is a struggle and a battle for talent. Filling roles is incredibly difficult. And the flip side of that is the need to increase productivity. If you can't fill the roles, you need each of your employees to do more. So they're looking to Microsoft for tools to help them to do that. And in the context of these things, the longer term trends that we're seeing are around sustainability. Microsoft itself has committed to being carbon neutral by 2030, or carbon negative by 2030, and to erase our carbon footprint by 2050. Many manufacturing companies are following that trend and also following their customers' guidance and their investors' guidance that they need to be more sustainable going forward. And then finally, security, wrapping around all of these trends. We see foreign actors, but also this hybrid work environment has drastically transformed the security environment for manufacturers. You look at IoT and the connected factory as well, and security is utmost and paramount when it comes to securing that environment as well. So we're seeing those five trends really transform the industry much more quickly than many people expected only 3 years ago.
Okay, thanks. So let's take a minute and talk about cloud. Cloud is an important aspect of digital transformation, but there are a lot of manufacturing scenarios where it's not really appropriate maybe yet for a cloud-based solution. How does Microsoft think about cloud?
Sure. So Microsoft knows that transformation for manufacturing is a very, very complex and multifaceted undertaking. So we've broken that into 5 priority scenarios. We look at the factory floor, and on the factory floor, we see that it's always going to be a hybrid environment. You're going to have some component that's on premises and some component that's in the cloud. And how those two pieces work together is what's going to drive value for manufacturers. But because of latency, redundancy requirements, security, there needs to be a component on the edge. But when it comes to analytics and making data more accessible across an environment or across an enterprise, there's a cloud component that we see as well. The next scenario that we look at is supply chain. That we see as an area that cloud can play a significant role as well. We don't see necessarily the need for edge unless you're talking about tracing vehicles, et cetera, and route optimization. But again, there's that cloud and edge component. We see the customer relationship transforming as well, and we see that cloud can 100% take care of most of those use cases. The factory floor worker and productivity for them, again, the cloud can play a significant role. The final scenario that we look at is connected products. So in many cases, either a product that goes to the end consumer or might go to another factory to help them build. It also needs to maintain that edge and cloud component. So for many of the transformation hotspots or transformation scenarios we see, it's a hybrid environment where you're always going to have compute locally on a device, but there is a significant value to having the cloud as a component as well.
Okay. So tell me, how is Microsoft investing in order to support their customers as they navigate to becoming digital first?
Great. So Microsoft actually has fundamentally changed how we go to market. Our entire sales organization has become manufacturing focused. Historically, we were geography focused, and we've pulled out all of the manufacturing customers, and all of our salespeople, all of our technical specialists, all of our customer success specialists focus exclusively on manufacturing. So we saw the imperative that our salespeople and our organization needs to understand the use cases, the scenarios, the challenges, the opportunities that manufacturers are facing. So we made a massive investment to focus all of our employees that work in that space, that they exclusively focus in that area. Now, when you look at the rest of Microsoft, when it comes to a product perspective, we also made a similar change. Historically, Microsoft has gone to market with what we call horizontal solutions that are able to support any industry. But we've seen with the cloud, you need to be industry specific. So our product groups are even focused and have been reorganized to focus on manufacturing as an industry, and we're building significant and unique capabilities that align to the needs of manufacturers as well. So that's one of the things that we wanted to share at ARC is Microsoft is transforming fundamentally to focus on our customers because we understand digital transformation is so difficult. We need to change in order to accommodate that IT/OT combination. As an organization where we've historically been IT focused, we need to also understand the OT component, and our business is better, so we're investing in doing that.
Great. Well, it does sound like Microsoft is working hard to become a good strategic partner for manufacturing companies. What's on the horizon?
Sure. So Microsoft, as I mentioned, we have sustainability and security as overarching themes that we see going forward. We announced last year that we're going to spend $20 billion over the next 4 years specifically on security. So we know that this is going to be an imperative for our customers because of those trends like hybrid work, IoT, and edge, et cetera. So we are doing that for our customers. On the sustainability side, Microsoft has made those pledges about being carbon negative and erasing our entire carbon footprint from the history of the company by 2050. And what we're doing in that space is we're making those tools that we're using to transform available to our customers as well. So you're going to see industry specific clouds. We have the cloud for sustainability that was announced about 2 weeks ago. We have the cloud for manufacturing that is also coming as well to help manufacturers. And what we see is that our partners are always going to play a significant role in the ecosystem of manufacturing. So many of the large companies that are at ARC are Microsoft partners. And what we want to enable is choice for our customers. So the role of the Microsoft Cloud is actually to allow our customers to choose whatever solutions from whatever providers make sense to them. And the Microsoft Cloud allows you to connect those solutions together using one common language. So Microsoft, as I mentioned, from a culture and personnel perspective, is investing heavily to focus on manufacturers. But we also understand the challenges of digital transformation and continue to invest heavily in order to support those challenges as well.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Jesse. I really enjoyed speaking with you today.
Thank you, Greg.
I've been speaking with Jesse Alleyne, Manufacturing Industry Director at Microsoft. Thanks for watching.